What is up there, SEO pros or marketing pros or whatever you are? Today, we're going to be talking about a few things you need to know about the SEO industry or just the marketing industry in general. So, if you're wondering why I'm not wearing a shirt, this has been a new theme that I've been kind of going for where I just don't wear shirts anymore. And the whole point of that is because I don't have to. I work at home, and if you want to kind of do the same thing, I suggest you subscribe and keep watching these videos and learn how to sort of follow suit. So anyways, one other thing before we get started, make sure you head to the link in the description so you can head over to the Facebook group if you're not in it and interact with a bunch of other SEO people just like me and hopefully like yourself. So either way, again, what we're going to be talking about today is what you need to know when it comes to either entering the industry or being in the industry or growing in the industry. So I've been doing SEO for 2 years, 3 years right now, and I am semi-successful at it. I got about 15,000 in revenue per month from my clients. That's how much I get per month. And from my courses, I make, I think, anywhere between 10 to 20K. So not a relatively large amount of money, but doing better than most people in the SEO industry for the most part. So the first thing you need to know is this industry really is based a lot around money. I mean, the whole driving force for a lot of what you see online is around money. So if you're, trying to get into this just for the sake of helping people, that's great, but if you start seeing what other people are doing, a lot of them are exploiting people so that they can get as much money from them as possible. So what does that mean? So a good example of this is people who have a ton of traffic. If you look at people like Ty Lopez or I don't even know, just people who are large influencers, a lot of them will actually bring in traffic by showing flashy things or doing some sort of clickbaity title, and then they'll end up referring out their traffic to other affiliate people. So like, let's say they refer it out to a new course that somebody else made and they make money through that, or they create some sort of software or whatever it is. But so what does that mean? It means that in order to do really well online, you need to figure out how you can make money to survive, but also at the same time figure out how you can be helpful without scamming people, right? And I think that's where people kind of get in this weird limbo where they're trying to figure out, okay, well, I really want to help people, but at the same time, there's all this money that I can make by selling people like link building or something that isn't necessarily maybe 100% ethical. Although some people would debate with me that, link building is completely ethical. Generally, in terms of SEO, if it goes against what Google says not to do, I say that it's probably not something that you should do. But again, that's just sort of a debated line that I don't want to cross. I think the biggest thing that you need to know is sort of what is going to work for you. Like, what are you most interested in helping people with? And then start going towards that niche first. So when I started doing SEO by myself, after I left the agency I was working at, I started by calling up local businesses and only doing local SEO, which is what a lot of people generally I see do to start out, right? And that's a completely logical step because SEO locally, generally, unless you're in a huge area, is something that's going to be a lot less competitive than something national, right? And then you have other people who go out and do national SEO right away, or they just try to do affiliate SEO or Amazon, affiliate offers, drop shipping, whatever. I would say if you're just getting into SEO, start by trying to rank your own local business. Again, the way I did it is I started out by trying to rank for SEO in my town. And, that's really not too hard. I see that for the most part, SEO these days is really based a lot around content rather than link building being the main focus like it used to be, or, and again, quality content, not just repurposing like, garbage stuff and then putting it onto a page. Although I have seen stuff like that rank as well. But for the most part, you're not going to be able to rank too well unless you have some sort of content. The other thing that I would say you want to look out for is not only focusing on just Google or just one avenue. I've been saying a lot lately that SEO, and I got this quote from somebody who does SEO, his name's Bradley Shaw, that SEO is sort of a gateway to marketing. And it's totally true because SEO is just one facet of making money, right? You can make money by, of course, ranking on Google, but is that the only source of income you want to make money off of? Probably not, right? It's better to have separate sources of income like, Google, Facebook, if you can, YouTube. And if something happens, like for instance, YouTube, right? I have 20,000 subscribers. Let's see how many people are watching right now. We have 16 people. So 16 people are watching out of 20,000 subscribers. Now, the reason for that is because Google changed or YouTube changed, right? Subscribers don't really do anything anymore. They don't really get notified if you go live or unless they hit the bell icon or whatever. And most of my videos only get like 200 views. So that's a huge liability, right? I spent all this time building up a YouTube channel, creating hundreds and hundreds of videos. But what happened when the algorithm changed or whatever the system changed? Well, now I'm not making as much money from that avenue. I'm not getting as much traffic. And now I have to refigure out what I have to do, right? And so the good thing is that I was smart by creating assets like on Facebook, creating email lists, creating organic traffic to my website, and taking the money that I was making off these different avenues and then fueling it with content or putting it into courses or putting it into software, so that at the end of the day, I have these different things, basically there if I need them to be there. Because right now, if I go on YouTube, I start trying to sell to people. Again, there's 16 to 22 of you guys watching. What are you guys going to do when I say, hey, look, I just created a new course. Here it is. Look at this. I created a new SEO course. Go and buy it, right? Now, obviously, I wouldn't try to sell it like that. I would say, hey, do this, go grab the course, here, watch the whatever. But the point is that because I don't have this large of an audience as I used to, like, one of my videos, I remember my SEO 2018 video 2017 video got like 100,000 views. I do a video now again, I only get, I think like one of my ones that I spent like 3 days creating got like 6,000 views. But that's not a relatively large amount of views for spending 3 days of time working on them. And that's the other thing you have to think about is if you're spending 3 days working on a video to get 6,000 views, think about how much money you could make within those 3 days by actually working on something that makes money, and then using that for ads to drive views, which I know is a little bit different. Organic views is definitely better, and you have a higher chance of reaching more new people or whatever, and ads aren't as accurate. But for the most part, you could do the exact same thing with ads, if not a lot more. So with 3 days of work doing just SEO on page, I can make a lot more. And then the other thing that it comes down to is, do I want to be spending my time doing only on-page SEO? I know a lot of people who go into SEO end up not wanting to doing all the implementation, right? That's why most people get into link building, or they get into, creating an agency or outsourcing their services with white labels, because they just want to sell to the clients. They don't always want to do the implementation. And that's totally, something that I get. I don't personally like doing implementation all the time, unless it's on my own assets, right? If it's on my own assets, it's a little bit more fun, because then I know that I'm spending time working on myself rather than building up somebody else's company. So what do? So there's a couple different areas you can go into, right? You can go into scaling an agency. You can start doing affiliate by outsourcing, which, by the way, small promotion. I just created my affiliate program on my site. I can put a link in the description that you can sign up for, and you can actually sell any of the stuff I have on here and get a commission, which is another option, right? You just go out and create the content and then send people to a source that is trustworthy. There's courses. You can get into courses, and all of this stuff I've done, like all of this. I've created software, I've created courses, I've created agency, and all of it I've done pretty successfully. I've created a mastermind. Not like successfully like Ty Lopez success, but to the point where I've made, decent money off of it. And again, I know that's relative. Money is relative to how much, you're looking for. But for what most people are looking for, I've made a decent amount of money with these different things. Now, I can tell you that through all the different things that I do, the thing that I enjoy the most is probably creating connections, not creating courses, not creating an agency, not any of that stuff. That stuff's actually pretty boring. And what I mean by creating connections is I actually enjoy knowing that one person got connected with somebody else because of something that I did. And I think that's why I initially got into SEO. So you guys may have the same feeling, I don't know, but the point is, if I can do that in a way where that's all I'm doing, because that's what I enjoy doing, right? For instance, one of the things that I started doing is I started creating an influencer group. So I created a Facebook group, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago, where I only took the top people in like the different marketing industries, like social media, SEO. And then I reached out to them, and then I got them into this Facebook group. And now there's like, I think like almost 25 huge influencers, like big people. And that to me is like really exciting for the reason that I'm creating connections with like, people that I know are going to be people that I want to surround myself with, right? The problem with creating an audience, like a big audience, like on YouTube or on Facebook or wherever, is that you end up getting a lot of people who don't know anything about what you're talking about. So that's why they end up, watching your stuff or following your tutorials, or whatever. But the problem with that is a lot of those people are not your people. Those are just people who want to learn about it. And most of those people don't end up sticking around. Most of the people that I used to talk to when I first started my channel, I don't talk to anymore. A lot of them just dropped off. And that's just how it is. But the big people, you end up actually getting to see around for a long time because that's what they're known for, right? They're not going to just leave that role. That's one other thing you have to consider as well, is if you start really wanting to get into a role, like for instance, being the SEO guy, being the social media person, whatever, you have to realize that once you get there, it's kind of hard to go into something else. One of the things that I started doing is I was always trying to get back into like this motivational thing that I always wanted to be like a motivational speaker, but I always keep going back to SEO because I know that's what I'm known for. That's what people want to watch when I'm producing content, unless I want to go out and reinvent myself again, which is a lot of work, right? You don't want to get into something just for the money is what I'm saying, the whole purpose. And I know a lot of people know that, but, so those are some more like conceptual life lesson type stuff. But, in terms of like where to go, if you're new, I would say the biggest thing that you can do is try to surround yourself with people that you know that they know what they're talking about. And also try to figure out how you can create some sort of consistency with what you're doing. So whether you're just hitting down super hard on Facebook, whether you're hitting super down on YouTube, wherever it is, it's the biggest thing. And I just learned this from somebody that's doing really well on YouTube. They're at like 100,000 subscribers right now. I was talking to him, and he said, the reason why my channel is growing so fast is because of how consistent I'm being with my audience. And that's one of the really big things that you have to do. And if you can be consistent in a way that you're also bringing in some sort of streamline. And what do I mean by that? I mean that you have the ability to make it easy for yourself where that's not all you're spending your time on. So one of the big problems with this guy that I started talking to who has over 100,000 subscribers is he doesn't streamline what he's doing. I mean, he has somebody edit his videos, but for the most part, all he's doing is videos. So how are you going to, enjoy your life if all you're doing is videos, you're not doing anything else that you want to do, if you're trapped there, right? But this is the boring part, because as you try to streamline something, you have to templatize it. You have to create procedures for it. You have to figure out who can do it, who can learn it. You have to quality check what they're doing. So if anything, if you want to be the difference between somebody who just sells something or somebody that, helps people but doesn't really make any money, you have to streamline it. You have to figure out, how can I be consistent? How can I streamline it? And how can I be as transparent as possible about what I'm doing to the people who are buying my product? Because if you're not being transparent about what you're selling, then people are going to have a really hard time buying it, because it's the online world. And so many SEO people or marketers, online marketers, have terrible reputations. Not even because they have terrible reputations, just because the industry has a terrible reputation, because so many people scam people out there. And it's hard to figure out who's telling the truth. Like, I couldn't tell you by going into Facebook ads right now and somebody selling me a course who really knows what they're talking about, who doesn't, unless I took that course, right? Because I don't know enough about Facebook ads to look at like an outline and be like, okay, well that seems like something I need to learn, right? And that's because, again, you can create these false personas with social media and ads and remarketing and psychology and landing pages and click funnels. And most people don't have the ability to think for themselves, right? So it's easy to sell to people who can't really think for themselves. They want other people to think for them so that they can get to their level. So what you need to do is, first of all, again, figure out how to think for yourself, figure out what you really want. So if you really want to be the person who sells SEO courses, follow the people who are doing SEO courses. I have a good example of this. This guy, John Shea, he does SEO courses. And it's like the main part of what he does. He teaches people how to run their SEO business, how to sell to clients, that kind of thing. And he makes decent money selling his SEO courses. But if he was doing that and agency and masterminds and software, he wouldn't be able to excel in all those different places unless he has a built-in process to streamline it and the money to pay people to help him with that streamline. So what am I doing personally to streamline, you guys might be wondering? I streamline a couple things. Content. So I hire content writers to help me gather lists. Lists are something that you can never go wrong with in any industry. If you look at any industry, whether it's fishing or SEO or whatever, you can create a list of facts about that industry. And if you can have a large list, larger than the average on Google, generally you can get either traffic to it from social media or from ads or from Google. No matter what, you're going to be able to get it from one of those things. And of course, yeah, you're going to say, oh, well, I can of course get this from ads, but ads perform a lot better when you have a huge list that's way above a normal thing that people can't normally get. Like, let's say the top 200 ways to, I don't know, clean a house. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, right? But if you're targeting the right industry, that's going to be something that's way above a normal count that people are looking at around something. They'd rather visit a complete guide. And what do you put in there? You say free PDF download, free checklist, whatever, and then you grab their email. And that's how you start siphoning traffic from the assets that you're creating into a different asset. So remember how earlier I was saying you need to make sure that you're working on different avenues, not just one avenue. Because if you're working on just one avenue, what's going to happen? If it falls, like YouTube, and subscribers no longer matter, and you built up 20,000 people, and all you're saying is subscribe, 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 well, what happens? You don't have the traffic in those other places. So the more assets you have, right, which YouTube, Google organic traffic, Facebook groups, those are all only partial assets. One, because you run them and you control them, but also not really because things can change at any moment because it's not your platform. So the closer you can get people to your native platform that you control, which is generally like your website or your email list, the more control you're going to have over selling and creating wealth from those things. Some other things that I'm doing besides content is I'm creating software. I'm paying people to create software for me, which isn't really streamlining. It's just reinvesting my money. And the main reason why I'm actually creating these softwares isn't just to make money. It's because it's like, this stuff's awesome to have, to be able to be like, okay, this is exactly what I want out of this thing that doesn't exist yet. Because there's a lot out there that doesn't exist in the SEO realm. And I'm sure in other realms as well. I just don't dive too far into like social media, that kind of thing. And some other stuff is video. So how am I streamlining video, right? I'm here talking to you guys right now. Well, one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm doing a live stream, so I don't have to edit it. I mean, I could edit it. I hate editing videos. It takes forever. And honestly, I think that people can get enough value from, a live stream as they can from an edited video, provided that the person is making sense, which hopefully I am. And if I'm not live streaming, one of the things that I am going to be actually doing is recording all of the videos and then putting a scheduled date, you can actually schedule out your videos to get published on certain times. And I actually did a poll in my Facebook group, which is another way to streamline, right? You gather information by doing polls in the places you control, like Facebook. It's a great way to utilize your groups. Bring people into a group and then poll them on what they're interested in. So I asked my Facebook group, I said, how many of you guys would be interested in a 3 p.m. YouTube video or a 2 p.m. video or 1 p.m., whatever. And most people either said 3 p.m. or 9 p.m. Pacific Standard. So what am I doing? It's like 2 o'clock, close enough, right? Doing a video. And again, after this, what I'll probably end up doing is calling a few people from my agency, making sure everything's good to go on the agency side of things, and then maybe record a few more videos and then schedule them out for later so that I can have a consistent schedule for posting. If I was really streamlined, I would probably end up actually taking these videos and having somebody edit them all for me and then publish them out. But again, it's more about getting towards your goal and figuring out what you need to streamline first. For me, it's more important to streamline content creation and list-based facts. Like for instance, I just did an article on, what is it, 70 plus SEO influencers to follow on Twitter. You think I really wrote that? No. I used to write that kind of stuff. I used to write this stuff. And then this 198 SEO tools. Do you think I found all of these tools and unique descriptions? I didn't. And I'm sorry to break it to some of you guys. I know some of you are probably very sad that I didn't write all of this, but I don't have time for that, you know, and I would rather invest money in having somebody, again, gather the facts for me so that I can, you know, not have to spend my time doing that. Something else that I streamline is, again, the agency. So I have interns and then I have regular workers. The regular workers go and do all the implementations that I taught them based off the templates that I've created. The interns, I try to get them to learn things for me because I don't have time to learn and sift through all the garbage on the internet right now. So I say, hey, look, I need you to learn Facebook ads because I don't know that. And I know that marketing is important. So, or that social media marketing is important. So you go learn Facebook ads, come back to me and tell me what I need to do for that. And that's what happens. They come back, they tell me, and then I go and eventually pay them once they're not interns anymore. And then they maybe end up helping me be a social media or helping me by being a social media marketing person for the company. So again, these are all quick, easy tips to streamline. But at the end of the day, it's about spending your time doing what you know makes money, the most money for your company, right? You don't want to be spending your time doing things that you don't want to do, for one. But you also don't want to be spending your time not doing the things that you're supposed to do because those things are making the most money so that you can get to the point where you don't have to do the things that you don't want to do. So I don't know if that made sense, but the point is, if you're not doing the thing that makes the most money for your company, you're not going to be able to reinvest your money into the things that you need to streamline to get you to where you want to be, where you can literally just talk to a camera like this and not wear a shirt and tell people how to make money. So I'm still at a position where I probably shouldn't be doing these videos as much as I should be redesigning the rest of the site. If you look at the homepage right now, the freaking call to actions don't even work, right? That's a problem. But it's also about having fun to a certain degree. I enjoy coming on these videos and talking to you guys just because it's part of what I like to do. It's not always about the money, and it's also about figuring out a balance. Life is all about a balance. You don't want to just get all wigged out and spend all of your time just freaking driving super hard to be somebody who's making all this money online because you think you have to. One of the other things is, like, if you don't have time to go to the gym, you're doing something wrong. And I know a lot of you guys probably don't like working out, or maybe some of you do, but you should be able to spend at least like an hour or two a day on yourself, like not just for your business, like doing things that you enjoy doing that doesn't have to like require some ROI. It's not all about ROI all the time. And I know a lot of people who do marketing get super like into the whole, I need to make it happen, and if I don't, I'm going to die, or something crazy, right? But it's not crucial to become this person overnight. It's crucial to take small steps towards becoming that person if that's what you want, and slowly easing over to that, and not like, you know, stressing yourself out too much on the way. So that's it. I'm going to answer a few questions. We only got 13 people now. I guess you guys got bored. Video status says, hey sir, I need one answer about my question. What type of backlinks does Google need for SEO? I don't know. I don't do link building. How to add snippet in Search Console. Are you talking about the structured data tool? I would use manual schema market, but that's what you're asking. M&A Cart says, hi, what's up? Keith says, what you're trying to say is that people need to increase their revenue streams. That works too. I have a blog. That's why I can't afford 197. Okay. Really? I'm interested in e-commerce SEO. Lily gets a happy face. I think that's Lily, the content writer. Can you tell me about off-page SEO strategy? Nope, I don't do off-page SEO. And Saurabh says hello. All right, guys, so that's it for today. I didn't really mean for this to be a motivational sort of thing, if that's what it was. I was trying to go for more of the, like, how to actually do SEO, but this was one of the videos where I was just wanting to wing it. So that's it. Again, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you join the Facebook group in the description, or send me an email at chaserenner.com/contact. So until I see y'all next time, happy marketing.